The reason I'm doing this live is because I've noticed something on Facebook with Danny Tomo and on YouTube between Danny Tomo and Ryan from Raise the Colours. There's been a few backwards and forwards and they seem to have a little bit of beef. I think Danny Tomo thinks that Raise the Colours isn't moving fast enough to get over to France and stop the boats as they did promise. They've had a lot of donations, according to Danny Tomo. How much, I won't say because I do not know. There's been a lot of backwards and forwarding. There's been a lot of accusations thrown at each other. Is this really the way they're going to stop the boats? If they can't organise this between the two of them, how are they going to stop the boats? The police authorities over in France are looking to actually arrest anybody that goes over there. Was this just a big ploy from the very start? I do not know. But I know that they have started mudslinging at each other, and this could be the beginning of the end for Raise the Colours and for the whole thing that they were trying to achieve. Now, I know they were saying they had 20,000 applicants to actually go over. How exactly are they going to stop the boats? They're not allowed to go onto the beaches and puncture these boats. They're not allowed to go up to these migrants and be aggressive in any way, shape or form. They're not allowed to cause any form of criminal damage. But why aren't the French authorities doing what the British people wants to do? Why aren't they doing this? Now, all of a sudden, Danny Tomo and Ryan from Raise the Colours have had a big fallout. Now, I know that they've both got history. I know they've both got criminal records. I know they've both got history, hasn't everybody? And we totally understand that. Now, does that come sometimes back to bite you on the arse? Are they disagreeing on these stupid things that could be sort of sorted out off camera between the two of them, instead of doing all this and actually ruining all of this Raise the Colours thing and making everybody that was involved with Raise the Colours an absolute sodding muppet? I mean, my opinion of it is if you're going to make a promise and write checks, you'd better make sure the money's there to actually cash them. Because you can't turn around and say to all the British public that we're going to stop the boats, it's going to 100% work, take a load, and I mean a load of money in donations, and then when it doesn't happen, not expect people to be pissed off. Because people will be pissed off, and that is a lot of people that have donated to this cause. Now, how this is all going to work, I don't know. I don't know whether Danny Tomo and whether Ryan can make up and come and try and reach some type of middle ground or something along those lines. I don't know. But as I said, I've been watching it quite interestedly because they've got beef. They've got a problem with each other. They've been accusing each other of all sorts, PayPal accounts, certain software downloads, things like this. Who paid for the ferry over to France? Who paid for the hotel rooms? Who paid for the equipment to actually do the surveillance on the Dunkirk beach? And things like this. And with the French authorities actually saying they'll arrest anybody that goes over there. I think there's 10 individuals that are on the list that could be arrested because of going over to France and threatening to do certain things. Now, there were rumours, and I want to make it very clear that these are rumours, that Danny Tomo wanted to cause a riot. Now, whilst Danny Tomo can be quite aggressive, he can come across as quite aggressive, he's passionate. The same as Ryan is very passionate about this subject. But is it just for the camera? We simply do not know. Again, we've got these two people that are very, let's just say, experienced in doing this sort of thing on YouTube, in doing this sort of thing on Facebook and everything else. I support Raise the Colours. I support putting up your flag outside your house and being proud of being British. What I don't support is going online, getting a load of donations, and then when everything falls apart, running off with the donations. Now, I'm not suggesting that anybody has actually done that, but at the end of the day, they've fell out. This is not going to look good. This is not going to look good at all. I don't know whether Danny Tomo was piggybacking on the back of Ryan. I don't know whether Ryan was piggybacking on the back of Danny Tomo. I don't know what's happened. All I'm seeing basically is them two throwing shit at each other, which is extremely childish. They're basically having a massive dick swinging competition at the moment, and I haven't got that time for that type of bullshit. I want to know, are they going to stop the boats or are they not going to stop the boats? We need to be updated on exactly what it is that's happening. When I report this type of thing, I try to make it very clear the things that I do and don't know. And again, all I can see is them two swinging each other's balls in each other's face. Who's got the most subscribers? Who's been doing this the longest? Who's managed to get the most money? Who's managed to get the most likes on a certain post? We do not care. All we want is the boats stopping. Illegal migrants is what we want stopping. Not legal, illegal. That means you're breaking the law if you enter the country. So what are they going to do? How far will this actually go? Will there be any more posts from Raise the Colours in the next week? I know Danny Tomo has just literally posted something on Facebook saying that he completely and utterly denies any of the allegations made by Ryan and Raise the Colours. So who is it that's lying? Who is it that's telling the truth? Who is it that's got something to hide? Who is it that hasn't got something to hide and is actually passionate about their country? Or is it all just a big ploy and a big money-making scheme so they can line their own pockets and piss off to another country when all this goes tits up? The French authorities have said they will stop 10 people entering that country because of what happened. They say they didn't slash any of the boats or anything like that. I can categorically say somebody has shown me a video of them with a boat that has been slashed. So it looks like they found the boat. But I did see them actually admitting to destroying an engine, an outboard as it's called, actually on camera. I seen that. I seen it with my own eyes. I know I seen it because I was there when I seen it. So they can't deny that. But they've been on GB News and denied any of this actually happening. So who's telling the truth and who is lying here? What actually is going on? What I would suggest is keep your money in your pocket for now. Keep your money in your pocket, do your research, make sure you can make an informed decision before you make any more donations to anybody, yeah, and get it actually right. Because we need to know what's happening. I think Ryan and Danny Tomo need to sit in front of a camera with somebody that's neutral and actually sit and actually talk this out. Open some dialogue, get some cohesive discourse going instead of trying to hoodwink each other and lead each other up that primrose path, because it's not going to work otherwise. This will all end very badly for Raise the Colours and Danny Tomo. Someone's going to end up in prison where they don't want to be, and it's absolutely ridiculous. We'll take a look at some of the comments. I've gone from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. We've already had about 4 comments. So, hey, I come in peace. Good on ya. I support shitting my pants. That's a strange hobby, but fill your pants, I suppose. Flush the toilet, stop the flows. I like that. Well done. I actually didn't realise until I was halfway through the joke that this was actually a joke. Right, okay. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. There is no way they will be allowed to cross. You see, this is what I totally agree with. How are they going to be allowed? How exactly? And none of this has been said by Raise the Colours on exactly how they're going to stop these boats. How can they stop them? The French authorities have been given thousands and thousands of pounds to stop them, and they're not doing it. So what makes Ryan and Raise the Colours so special that they're going to be able to do it? Now they're telling us it might just be for investigative purposes. 200 and something odd thousand pounds to investigate something is a lot of effing money, isn't it? So the project is doomed from the start. Danny knows this, but the money will already be in their accounts. You see, I can't deny or sort of not deny that. I don't know what's gone on. All I know is I didn't donate because I wanted to see where it was actually going. There's a lot of controversy around this. They've been in the papers. They've been on GB News. They've been in other newspapers and magazines as well. What exactly is going on? And for me personally, what they're saying isn't enough. There is not enough explanation there for me to want to say, right, okay, I'm happy with this. I'll donate £25. I'm not happy with that. I've been following this for weeks and I haven't said anything. I haven't done anything. I haven't donated anything, but I've been following it. And I just thought it's one of them things that, you know, when you think, oh, this is just too good to be true. Well, when it's too good to be true, it usually is. Do you know what I mean? And that was one of those things. I seen it. 16th of May, people, Tommy Robinson Festival. The Tommy Robinson Festival in London. Is he doing another one? There should be a dragon on the British flag. You see, the thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know why it goes like this. It's recently happened between two auditors. I'm not going to mention the names because I'm awaiting one of them to get back to me, but it happened between two auditors who fell out, and then they went smacking each other over the head with bits of bloody planks of wood and stuff when they're out there wanting exactly the same outcome as everybody else. Yet it's all falling apart. People are arguing and squabbling amongst themselves, having these dick swinging competitions, and it's absolutely childish. There's way too much testosterone between them two, and it ain't going to end well. It's like all of a sudden, that gift that they had of critical thinking has just basically disappeared. It's completely gone. And that's where I sort of draw a line and say to myself, well, you know what? I can't actually sit here and say I support Raise the Colours. I can't do that. I want so much for this to be true, for them to be able to go over to France and say, right, we are going to stop the boats in a legal, 100% legal way, and the boats will not come across the channel. What do you think will happen? They'll get on lorries. It's as simple as that. And it won't... the only way this is going to stop is to vote either Reform or Advance UK, and I can't 100% trust Reform either. They're just becoming the second arse cheek of the Tory party, aren't they? Let's be totally honest. Now, I didn't want to do this video because I was hoping that that Ryan was actually going to come out and tell us exactly what it is that Raise the Colours is about and how they're going to actually stop these boats from coming across the channel. And I can't see it happening. And I don't mean to bring on doom and gloom, because everybody that has come across the channel illegally will be going home. Trust me, it will happen. You look what happens around the world and everything else, and the way you get what you call these, it happens once so often. If you go and read look up Enoch Powell and things like that, these things happen, and they've happened in history quite a few times. They will be going home with their tail between their legs. But at the end of the day, you've just got to ride out the storm until that actually happens. And that's it. And I'm sorry, but a lot of people get hurt in the process. A lot. Which is wrong. But what else can I say? Not everyone is in the Tories was bad. I totally agree, and I'll say this as well. Now, people might disagree with me for saying this, but apparently we have free speech. If Kemi Baganoff joined Reform, I would support that. I like Kemi Baganoff. I think she is a good MP. She might have different values to everybody else. She might have different ideas to everybody else, but she's a hell of an MP. She's a good MP, and there are good MPs within within the Conservatives. But the fact is, the Conservatives are done. They're finished. No one will ever vote for the Conservatives again. And it's the same with Labour. The two main parties of this country are finished. Now, we've got a lot of people turning towards the loony bloody Green Party with Zach Polansky. What a prat. And I don't care what you say. The man is a complete and utter ideologue. He thinks he can turn around and say to Putin, right, you're going to just get rid of your nuclear weapons. Problem solved. The man hasn't got a clue. This is the same bloke who thinks he can hypnotise somebody or hypnotise a woman to make these grow that much bigger. And he was charging money for that, proven. This is the same guy that turned around on Question Time and said, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. But apparently a female can have a penis. To me, if it looks like a woman and acts like a woman, it's in woman. You idiot. He's constantly contradicting himself. The bloke is a complete and utter moron. He's got about the IQ, I'd say, of a Brussels fucking sprout. That's what I'd say. Zach Polansky is a complete and utter prat, and if he got into politics or if he had any sort of power, he would be extremely dangerous for all the wrong reasons. Nigel is the man for the job. Now, I don't 100% agree with that either. I don't believe that Nigel is the man for the job. I think he's being too soft. And that's why we have this off-breed party called Advance UK. If he actually stood for what the British people wanted, there's a lot of people, and it's if it was Reform in power and Advance UK as opposition, that's perfect. And that's what I think this is why everybody should vote Reform this time round, because I don't think Advance UK are ready. And that's just going to be a wasted vote. Next time round, I think they will be ready, with people joining them all the time. But I think that Reform is a one-term party, and that's my honest opinion. That is my honest opinion. They have got so much to prove, and they're under so much pressure. Like Raise the Colours, will they just fall to pieces like wet, mashier, papery shit that you get when you make something? What's it called? Papier-mâché? Yeah, papier-mâché. Just been corrected. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring up this conversation about Raise the Colours and Danny Tomo and Ryan. I hope they can sort this out between them. I think Danny Tomo wants everything to happen overnight, and I think Ryan is dragging it out for as long as possible because he wants to get certain things right. I don't know, but it needs calling out for what it is. These two blokes are basically just at the moment having a dick swinging competition, and it isn't the time for that. It's not the time for that. Get your arses out into gear and get the job done. That's what needs to be done. This has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Go and hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Good evening for now. Bye.